Travel by Train. This is written by J.B. Priestley. This was actually taken from the collection of essays titled Papers from Lilliput, which was published in the year 1922. This prose describes the nature of English men and women while traveling in the train. While traveling in train, J.B. Priestley notices various characters behaving in a peculiar way. He humorously portrayed them in this prose, Travel by Train. Apart from this humorous portrayal, he actually comments on the ethics to be followed while traveling in the public transport. Now let us see the summary of this prose, Travel by Train. When we remove Englishman from his comfortable place and home, he behaves in an indifferent way. He turns into a different creature with sudden furies and strong emotions. While traveling in the railway carriage, most of the time he notices only angry people, not the quiet people. And the inoffensive fellow passengers will be seen with million devils of anger. In this prose, J.B. Priestley gives a list of characters. Let us see what are the characters J.B. Priestley presents in this prose. When he was traveling in a train, he notices a large middle-aged woman with the harsh voice and brass face. She has different shapes of packages. She visits the smoking compartments frequently and disturbs all the fellow passengers while returning to her place. The entire carriage has hatred and dread, not peace, because of her presence. It seems that with her first journey in the carriage, courtesy and modesty disappeared from the world of travel. Wherever she goes in the railway carriage, that place is filled with hatred and dread. The author humorously says that there are few strong men in the compartment, and this evil-natured large woman will not last long in front of these strong men. This first type of traveler the author hates the most. According to him, she is the most offensive traveler. This second type of traveler is not as offensive as the previous one. This annoying railway traveler comes with all the household utensils, brings many boxes and trunks with her. She brings baskets of fruits, bunches of flowers also. With those parcels, they are not quite comfortable and they make others also uncomfortable. The third type of railway traveler the author talks about is a simple folk who is known for his eating and drinking in railway carriages. After settling in their seats, they unpack their sandwiches and pastry and talk with their mouths full. And they scatter crumbs all over the persons who are sitting by him. And they will take the bananas and peel and eat with utmost rapidity, disturbing the nearby nervous onlookers. Those nearby onlookers, they feel it quite uncomfortable and they move to another compartment because of their behavior. The fourth type of railway traveler is children. Children are usually not good traveling companions. They usually howl throughout the journey and they will disturb other people, whoever travels with them. They eat chocolates and while eating they apply those chocolates on over their faces and they try to climb out of the window. They make all the windows to be opened. They won't allow the windows to be touched because they feel that if it is closed, they will die of draughts. The fifth type of railway traveler the author talks about is the innocent railway passengers. Those innocent railway passengers, they enter into the wrong train. They do not usually ask the railway officials for advice. They just climb into the first train that comes and they believe their own luck. After traveling for so long only, they will ask whether they are in the right train. And then they look very pathetic and puzzled and disillusioned and they have to get down in the next station. And the author very much worries about these type of passengers because he does not know whether they have gone to the right place because they have to travel from station to station, line to line, and nothing is left to them favorably. The fifth type of railway traveler the author talks about is mighty sleepers. Just like the descendants of seven of Ephesus, they sleep for so many hours. The descendants of seven of Ephesus are known for their miraculous sleep for several years. Just like Ephesus, they also sleep for several hours. It seems that they have composed their sleep for several hours and they begin to sleep when they get into the train. Just before their destination arrives, they rub their eyes and stretch themselves and collect their package and they murmur themselves, my station I think, and they get out of that train. These mighty sleepers do not get any boredom, whereas all the people in the passengers undergo boredom. The seventh type of railway passenger is Seafaring men. These seafaring men are actually good companions on a railway journey because they have many stories to share with. But few seafaring men come with boring stories and they make us sleep in their narration of stories. The last type of railway traveler is an elderly man who is neatly dressed and he has tobaccos in his mouth and he is always seated in the corner. He usually begins the conversation with the remark on train timings. He used to say that the train is 3 minutes behind time. And when he talks, all his talk will be about trains only. They talk about the history of train, quality of train and destiny of train. It seems that they have spent all their time only in railway carriages. It seems that they have timetables for everything like trains. They'll tell that at 12:35 from this place I have to start and that I'll reach that place at 3:49. At 8:26 I'll be starting from this place and I'll reach that place at 5:10. These type of exact timetables they'll have at all times. The author humorously ends this essay saying that if you meet such type of person in the corner of the railway compartment and begins the conversation saying that the train is 2 minutes behind time, you better understand that he is the ancient mariner of railway travelers and he will begin to talk with you with his glittering eye.